Have you seen too many videos promoting prompt engineering? But did they tell you that prompting is just a temporary hack? The real future is designing how AI behaves when it's in the room with you. Meet the AI interaction specialist.
Okay, so let's get right into it. We're going to talk about what could very well be the single most important tech career for the next decade, especially right here in India, and that is the AI interaction specialist. Right, you've definitely heard about prompt engineering. You type in just the right combination of words and you get the perfect picture or the perfect answer. It's clever, for sure. But here's the thing you need to understand. Prompting is just a hack. It's a temporary fix for a much, much bigger challenge. Because AI isn't just going to stay on our screens forever.
You see, the real question isn't what can an AI do, it's how should it behave when it's in the room with us. I mean, think about it. An AI robot is working next to a nurse in a busy ICU. Should it interrupt her while she's calculating a dosage? If she's clearly stressed, what tone of voice should it use? These aren't engineering problems anymore. These are deeply, profoundly human problems.
And answering those questions, well, that's the job of a whole new kind of professional. We're talking about a real-world designer. We are moving way beyond the screen, and these are the folks who are literally going to be the architects of how we, as humans, coexist with machines in our physical world.
Here's the best way to think about it. For the past 30 years, the UX designer has been the king of the screen, right? They use clicks and pixels and taps to shape our digital experience. Well, the AI interaction specialist is their successor for the next 30 years. But their canvas isn't the screen, it's the real world. Their goal isn't just to design an experience, it's to design a relationship. And their tools, there are things like voice, gesture, and even silence.
So what does that actually mean day to day? Well, they're basically designing the personality of technology. They're figuring out the interruption logic for an AI in a hospital. When should it speak up versus just send a silent alert? They're deciding on the emotional tone for an AI tutor when a student is getting really frustrated. They're even designing the exact sequence of words and gestures an AI advisor needs to build trust with a farmer in a rural bank. This isn't just code, it's the design of social intelligence itself.
Okay, so you're probably wondering, how on earth do you get into a field that's this new? Well, the really great news is that it's surprisingly accessible. And that's because it doesn't belong to just one single field. It sits right at the intersection of several. There are really 4 main doors into this career. You can come from design and human-computer interaction. You can come from computer science, from psychology, or even from linguistics. The key thing here isn't where you start. It's your willingness to learn from and build bridges to all the other disciplines. Let's break that down a little. If you're coming from a design background, say from NID or IIT Bombay's IDC, that's probably the most natural fit. If you've got a computer science degree from an IIT or BITS, you bring that absolutely essential tech fluency. Psychology students, maybe from places like Ashoka or Christ, they provide the deep human understanding. And a linguistics degree from somewhere like Miranda House or HCU, that is a seriously underrated path, because at its heart, so much of this is a language design problem.
Now here's the thing. Right now, you cannot get a degree in India with this exact title. But listen, that is not a problem. That is a massive, massive opportunity. The people who start combining these skills right now are going to be the ones who get there first and get to define the entire field for everyone else.
And this brings us to the most important point of all, why this is such a huge, unique opportunity specifically for India and why it's happening right now.
The jobs are already here, they're already growing, even if they're not called AI interaction specialists yet. Just think about it. Companies like Nirmai and Cure.ai putting AI in hospitals. Tata Motors and Foxconn putting robots on factory floors. The government's huge Bot.ai initiative. Consumer super apps like Geo and Cred. And even in our most strategic sectors, like ISRO and DRDO, every single one of them desperately needs this skill.
Now get this. Our best estimate for the number of people who are dedicated specialists in this role across all of India is about 500. 500 people, that's it. For a country of 1.4 billion people, it's a tiny, tiny talent pool.
And here's where that tiny number gets really interesting. Because the conservative projections show that by 2034, just a decade from now, India is going to need at least 35,000 professionals in this field. The gap between demand and supply is, well, it's absolutely extraordinary. And of course, that kind of demand shows up in the paycheck. The salaries here are a direct reflection of just how rare this skill set is. You're starting strong right out of the gate, but just look at how it scales. By the time you're a senior professional, the pay is globally competitive,
hitting well over $1 crore for the top talent. But look, this role in India is about so much more than just a great salary. This is about designing for 1 billion people that, frankly, global AI research often completely ignores. Your work will have direct, physical consequences in the real world, and you'll be using things like culture, local language, even social context, not as an afterthought, but as your core design material. You're not just joining a field here, you are literally building it from the ground up. So if you're listening to this and you're feeling excited, the obvious next question is, what can you actually do? How do you start? Let's break down a simple, actionable plan that you can get going on today. Okay, here's a 4-step roadmap you can follow right now, even as an undergrad. First, learn the foundations. There are amazing free courses from Google's conversation design team and the Nielsen-Norman Group. Second, go deeper. Check out MIT's free open courseware on human-robot interaction. Third, master one tool. Get really good at something like VoiceFlow or Figma. And finally, and this is the most important part, build one great project. Something interdisciplinary, like designing a simple AI assistant for a government OSHA worker. That one project in your portfolio will open more doors than anything else. When it's time to look for that first job, just remember, the titles aren't standardized yet. So you need to search for things like conversational designer, voice UX, or AI product designer. Target those really innovative Indian companies, Sarvam AI, Kritram, Geo, Razorpay, Freshworks. And definitely aim for research internships at the top labs, like those at IIT Bombay, IIT Delhi, or IISc in Bangalore.
All right, let's wrap this up. I want to put this moment into a bit of historical perspective, because this isn't just about a cool new job. This is a new chapter in how we build technology. Think back to the 1990s. Someone, somewhere, realized that websites needed to be designed, not just coded, that they needed to feel right. That person became the UX designer, and they defined the digital world for the next 30 years.
Today, we are at that exact same turning point, but the canvas is so much bigger. The AI interaction specialist won't just decide how an AI should feel, they're going to decide how it should be, how it should exist in our hospitals, in our schools, in our homes. So, I want to leave you with this final thought. The question is not whether this career is real. Make no mistake, it already is.
The only real question left is whether you're going to be one of the people who helps build it. The field is wide open. The opportunity is right there. Go get it.